welcome to this episode of Mental Health Monday with my girl Chyna. Would you like to introduce yourself, let the folks know what you do?
Oh, what I do. Peace and blessings, everybody. Chyna Tierra is, what did you just call me? Very multifaceted?
Yes.
Yes, I am. I am a woman of many things. Sound healing, artistry, songstress, poetry, writing. I am on the track of becoming a licensed therapist.
Okay.
You know, I'm in my bag.
You are in your bag.
Yeah. Did I leave anything out? You know, I do a lot of everything. You know, I create space and, you know, I'm black and a woman and I'm out here.
Okay. Tell me about the art of creating space.
The art of creating space starts with intention. It starts with what it is that you are trying to create for others. Some of the spaces that I've created have been for Black women solely. They have been safe spaces for us to be able to come together and unpack, release, to be able to love on each other, to be able to laugh together. You know, we are returning back to our most authentic selves, and we're doing that in the most healthy and holistic way that we can possibly.
Okay. Yeah. How would you define authentic?
Authentic is showing up as your motherfucking self. You know, authentic is being true to what is you. You know, we live in a world where there's a lot of copycats. There's a lot of gimmicks. There's a lot of, you know, let's be like each other. But we're talking about the individuals. We're talking about, you know, representing yourself from your own core, you know, finding out what that is and being that unapologetically, you know, out loud. So that's what I mean when I say authentic.
Okay. What does it mean to heal? Or how would you define healing?
Well, you know, I'm sure everyone's heard this before, but healing is linear. Healing is releasing yourself of all of the things that try to steal your joy, the trauma, you know, the experiences that didn't feel so good. Healing is being, you know, it's a journey. It's a lifelong journey. And not everyone's healing journey, like I said, is linear. It's not going to look the same. Not everything is going to work for everybody, but it's trying to figure it out so that you can live your best life. We don't want to live in our sickness anymore just because it was passed down or it's a generational curse. Like, we're breaking away from those things.
Okay. So, holistic. It's a word that you use and it's something that you practice. Go ahead and preach. Let's get in this bag real quick for a second.
Holistic, you know that. You know that. What was it? Holistic, yeah. So holistic is doing it from, I like to say, the elements of the earth. You know, earth, air, fire, water. Holistic is from ourselves, you know, what it is that we grow. That's how we heal, through our herbs, you know, from our diet. And I wouldn't even say diet, but like lifestyle, because that's what it becomes when we start being more intentional about the things that we're using for ourselves. Holistic is knowledge, you know, making sure that we are taking in the good things so that we can be a pillar for ourselves and we don't have to go to these Eurocentric ways of living or doctors or whatever. But yeah.
Okay, when you say Eurocentric ways of living, let's touch on that for a
bit.
I want to just hear these thoughts. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like European could be like the kind of bread I keep in my closet, or it could be the kind of doctor that you go to and the only one that you subscribe to.
Okay, well, I'll use this as an example. We know that there has been a lot of Black women who have been dying at childbirth, right? And so in that sense, I would say Eurocentric as Western, the medicine, like it's not for us. The same way that we know like the system is not for us. So when I say holistic, I'm talking about for us, you know, and when I talk about, you know, Black women in childbirth, I'm talking about doulas and midwife, you know, who knows our bodies, you know, and making sure that we are getting the treatment that we deserve, because our DNA, our whole chromosomal, all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same as our counterparts.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got to go a different route, and we need to know that there are people who are being intentional about our well-being.
Okay. So, what attracted you to the practice of Tibetan sound bowls?
So I actually use Tibetan, and I have crystal sound bowls.
Tell me the difference.
Just really what they're made out of. So the crystal sound bowls, crystals, and the Tibetan sound bowls, I don't even know what they're made of, but it almost.
Is that the sound bowl that you have in the box that's in my room?
It is.
Okay, so that's an actual Tibetan.
That's an actual Tibetan sound bowl. Yes. Okay. Yes. So how did I get into sound healing? I went to Amsterdam and across the pond, and there's still an English accent, but you know. I went to Amsterdam, and there was this man outside, and he had a big ass Tibetan bowl, and this joint had to be like at least maybe 15, 16 inches, and it was filled with water.
Yeah.
And like I immediately stopped because the sound literally, I felt like, attracted me. It was like a pull. And he took the bowl around my whole entire body, and I just stood there, and like literally I felt like I was levitating. And I never felt like that before. And I then came back home. I was like, I gotta give me one of those bowls. I ended up going to these girls who were holding sound healing.
Do you remember what year this was?
Maybe like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. It was that winter.
Okay.
That winter, and I came back. There was a group of black girls who were holding sound healing sessions. I went to that, and it attracted me in a way, you know. Really, the stress that I felt leave my body, just being there, being present. Like I fell asleep. I fell asleep my first sound healing session. I literally fell asleep. That's how at peace I was.
Yeah.
Like that's how still I could be. So I bought my own bowl. And originally I brought it and I was using it for my clients at work. And then I started creating a practice of my own. COVID happened, and I was like, you know, my community needs this right now. And
so you wanted to share the healing?
I wanted to share it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any moments that are special to you through SoundBowl?
Plenty. I honestly want to say I was going live every day in the beginning of COVID, like for a few months straight. And I created a beautiful, I don't even say I created, they created because they came. Community, tribe, village, you know, black women, women of all sorts, you know, were coming, you know, we were creating conversation. There was dialogue about the things that we were experiencing, being in COVID, the things we experienced as women, you know, discussing our traumatic experiences, breaking through it, like, you know, affirming each other. It was mirror work. It was phenomenal, you know, and I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, do you really think that you're going to be in the position that you're in? And that was just one of those moments. Like, I thought I was offering space, you know, and it really just kind of formed itself and became something else. And, you know, so yeah, I would say that's probably one of the special